Okay. Do the Wrong Thing is a book series or extra long novel that opens with a woman trying to kill herself. She says, I don't know why I tried to do this, and by way of explanation tells her life story. She talks to the reader while writing and includes diary entries. We're normally about 2/3 through the series in book 4, but since I've started to get edits back on book 2, I'm revisiting it. This section follows the one I read last week, in which writer Ava grapples with her inability to tell the part of her story where her mother kicks her out at the end of high school. I'll put my questions at the end, and I'm Malcolm Van Delst. Maybe you should study bookkeeping in Fayetteville, Mom says. You could live at home. My heart constricts. I've been working towards university ever since she told me I could go when I was 4. Hadn't she heard when I told her what Mr. Fern said? That I could be a writer? A question from Mom is rarely only a question. It's direction, but with the caveat that she knows she's asking a lot, but is going to ask it anyway. Her bottom lip juts out like a toddler's before a tantrum. She scans my face. A series of thoughts and emotions rip from my heart to my mind, to my heart and back again. I watch as my mother reacts to winces and twitches beyond my control. I'm a human pinball machine. My eyes send out Morse code. She's jealous. She doesn't want me to leave. I'm her only friend. She'll have no one to talk to. I'm a puppet. I'm her toy. She'll have less help with Luke and Christian, less help with the farm and house chores. Decades later, I'll realize, 1, she had started doing the books for the farm. She wanted to study bookkeeping. If I'd studied in Fayetteville, living at home, she could study along with me, like she'd done with English when I was in primary school. 2, she was losing the only thing that gave her value in her own eyes, her femininity, i.e., the ability to bear children. Womanly potential was leaving her, and she wasn't prepared. Hormones were flooding her system or fleeing it. I don't really know how menopause works, making her feel out of control and vulnerable. She understood even less about menopause than I do now. Her raison d'etre, as she understood it, was to accept what life gave her and be a mother and helpmate to her husband. I can't imagine the abyss opening before her. I watch her lower lip tremble. I am going to university. I say it with a finality that startles even me. I stand in the middle of Adele's old room, Aunt Ully at the door. Behind and to my left, a window is open. I hear birds and the Taylors talking on their porch next door. It's warm, cheerful even, but I'm locked inside a cage. Maybe it's my own cage, a cage I built to keep others out, a futuristic one that mimics my skin. If someone touches me, I can choose whether to feel it or not. I look out from my cage/safe house. Adele's bedroom is wallpapered with tiny reddish-pink flowers against a textured ivory background. Brown painted moldings line the walls, top and bottom. The molding is almost a foot high at the bottom. I wish I could remember what was on the floor. I think it was narrow, slatted wood, soft, beaten up, no shine. Adele's lumpy, wire-framed bed sits in the corner. There's a dresser in which 2 empty drawers sit open, falling downwards. There's a closet, about 3 feet wide and 5 feet long, beside the door to Adele's, now my, bedroom. The closet has a smaller door than my bedroom. It's wallpapered like the walls, so when it's closed, if not for the door handle, you could miss that it's there. Inside, there is more brown molding, top and bottom, against the far walls, but the outer one, constructed of plywood and drywall, has none. The outer walls, constructed of plywood and drywall, have none. You can put your clothes in those drawers. Aunt Ully motions to the empty, open drawers. You don't seem upset, she adds. I'm in my safe house. You're not upset, but your mom is, she continues. I look at her briefly, don't respond, flexing my force field to push her away. Aunt Ully is doing this for my mom, her sister. Aunt Ully doesn't like me. I stare at my luggage sitting in the middle of Adele's bedroom. When did my mother tell me? In the morning before school or the night before? I vaguely remember the luggage sitting in the kitchen, unwrapped, and according to her, filled with my things. But it's possible that I didn't see it there. I definitely remember seeing it when it lived at the bottom of my closet, wrapped in green and red drugstore paper, the kind that tears easily, exhibiting that characteristic then in the closet, at the edges where the tape held it closed. There were darker green triangle-shaped trees on that paper, with brown squares for tree trunks, and tiny yellow stars and multicolored presents sprinkled across it. I knew it was luggage. I knew long before Christmas, even. My mother had told me that I was getting luggage to prepare for when I went away. Leading up to the luggage that I never opened, there'd been a series of birthdays and Christmases where I got checks instead of gifts. I had ripped them up. I had wanted my mother to spend time finding something I would like and give it to me with love in her eyes, watching anxiously as I opened it, clapping if I was happy. I guess that was a stupid TV-influenced dream. But I wanted her to notice me, not the daughter she had to raise. Before the checks, Mom had gotten me stuff like delicate sweaters, tiny gold and silver necklaces, earrings, and perfume sets. Nothing cool or hip that would help my social standing, good girl accoutrements. She's buying for herself, I had thought, and I had responded angrily. Then the checks started. Anyway, her body was working overtime, literally, with 6 kids and a farm, while her brain atrophied and her heart shriveled. Of course she gave me delicate shit, the opposite of her literally shitty and cloddish life. It's possible that the first time I saw the pale blue skin of my luggage was at Aunt Ullie's, against that scuffed floor and rosebud wallpaper. You ready for biology? Ivan asked me when I meet him at my locker. I think so. Oh, hey, guess what happened? I live at Aunt Ullie's now, I say before he has a chance to respond. He looks up sharply, stares at me, confused. My mom kicked me out. You know that luggage set I got for Christmas that I never unwrapped? She's filled it with clothes and she brought it to Aunt Ullie's. He continues to stare. I smile. You're not upset? No. Should I be? He looks away. I'd be upset if my parents kicked me out, he says. I respond, shrugging. I'm leaving in 2 months anyway. I ace biology. I know I ace it because I'm flying. It's me, protons, chlorophyll, and osmosis. Nothing touches me. So my questions are, can you follow the luggage scene? What did you like, not like, and why? What works, what doesn't, and why? Thanks.